Best Western made booking our family beach vacation a breeze, and it felt a little like... Time to go. Okay, kids, back in the room.
You gotta come on, guys. This has to be like...
Good night. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at Best Western.
Hi, everybody. Today, my mommy is going to talk about Gerald R. Ford.
Thank you, Noah, for introducing Gerald R. Ford, the 38th President of the United States. Gerald Ford was born in the year 1913 in Omaha, Nebraska, but he was given the name Leslie Lynch King Jr. at birth. His father wasn't a good husband to his mother, and just 2 years after his birth, his mother divorced his father and took him to Grand Rapids, Michigan, where her family lived. His mother married Gerald R. Ford the following year and legally changed his name to Gerald R. Ford Jr. Gerald Jr. didn't learn about his biological father until he was 17 years old. Gerald attended the University of Michigan, where he was a star football player. When he graduated in 1935, he was offered contracts to play in the NFL, but turned them down to attend law school at Yale University. He practiced law until World War II. Out of a sense of duty, he joined the U.S. Navy and served valiantly, picking up 10 battle stars during his service. When he returned home from war, his stepfather, who was the county Republican chairman, convinced him to run for a seat on the House of Representatives. He won the nomination and spent the next 24 years serving as a representative from Michigan, winning 12 elections along the way, always receiving a minimum of 60% of the vote. In 1973, while President Nixon was facing tremendous heat for his role in the Watergate scandal, Nixon's vice president, Spiro Agnew, was charged with income tax evasion and forced to resign. Nixon selected Gerald Ford as Agnew's replacement because Gerald Ford had an outstanding record of honesty and dignity that was sorely lacking from the Nixon administration. 8 months after becoming vice president, Richard Nixon resigned the office of president, making Gerald Ford the 38th president of the United States. When Gerald Ford took the podium for his inauguration speech, he said, "My fellow Americans, our long national nightmare is over." Just a month after taking office, Gerald Ford shocked the American people by pardoning Richard Nixon, freeing him from a trial that would have exposed Nixon's obvious connection to Watergate. Ford's approval rating plummeted following the pardon, from 71% to 49% in less than a week. The public had assumed that Nixon and Ford made a deal, that Nixon would resign and make Ford president in exchange for a pardon. Evidence now shows that Nixon had no expectations of a pardon when he resigned the office of the presidency, and that Ford pardoned him with the hope of abruptly ending a terrible saga that could have prolonged for years otherwise. Under President Ford, the economy suffered. Inflation increased very quickly, and unemployment spiked as well. American troops were withdrawn from Vietnam, but the lack of support from the U.S. eventually led to Cambodia and South Vietnam both falling to communism. There were even 2 attempts made on Ford's life in California in 1975. President Ford had a few successes in foreign policy. He provided aid to both Egypt and Israel that paved the way for peace between the two countries. He also agreed to an arms reduction with the Soviets that relaxed the ongoing Cold War. When an American merchant ship was attacked by Cambodian forces in 1975, he responded successfully with force. Gerald Ford ran in 1976, trying to earn his spot in the White House for the first time. As a result of the circumstances that led to his ascendancy to the White House, he had never had to run as president or vice president before. His attempt almost ended abruptly as he nearly missed out on the opportunity to win the Republican nomination. Ford was opposed by the former governor of California and more conservative Republican Ronald Reagan. Ford beat Reagan narrowly, setting up a showdown between himself and Democratic Georgia Governor Jimmy Carter. Governor Carter wisely campaigned with the following promise: "I will never lie to you." He was aware that that was the message the American people needed to hear after the whole Nixon debacle and the suspected deal made by Nixon and Ford. President Ford was defeated by Jimmy Carter in 1976 and decided to retire from politics after serving the country for 35 years, from his time in the U.S. Navy to his 29 and a half months as President of the United States of America. Join Olivia and her dad tomorrow when they get curious about balloons. Until next time, stay curious.
Best Western made booking our family beach vacation a breeze, and it felt a little like... Time to go. Okay, kids, back in the room.
You gotta come on, guys. This has to be like...
Good night. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at Best Western.
Walmart Plus members save on meeting up with friends. Save on having them over for dinner with free delivery with no hidden fees or markups. That's groceries, plus napkins, plus that vegetable chopper to make things a bit easier. Plus, members save on gas to go meet them in their neck of the woods. Plus, when you're ready for the ultimate sign of friendship, start a show together with your included Paramount Plus subscription. Walmart Plus members save on this plus so much more. Start a 30-day free trial at walmartplus.com. Paramount Plus Essential Plan only. Separate registration required. See Walmart Plus terms and conditions.